G'day folks, Links here, and welcome back to Nomifactory. So it's been a busy time in the world, getting stuff sorted. So I have some new stuff. So I've set up PBI down there. It's level emitted like a lot of my other passive setups, and it's this stuff. The stuff I'm not even going to try and pronounce because I can't pronounce it. And all these 10 LCRs are just for PBI. And then it is a 14-step chain or something like that, but some of the ingredients I have in other parts of the base, like benzene, methane, etc., in other parts of the base, like oil. So I think this is the longest chain I've had to build so far in Nomifactory. If I did hard mode, then I think the plat line would have been longer than PBI. Because the plat line in hard mode, I think, is a bit more similar to the NH plat line. It's still not quite as long as the NH plat line, but I think it is quite similar though. Whereas the plat line here is fairly simple. So also, I've been watching Tooge's or Hamcorp's FTP Interactions Remastered video series, and basically after watching that and watching him set up extreme combustion engines, I was just like, why didn't I wall share mine? I feel really dumb. So I've wall shared them now, and they look a lot better wall shared. Yeah, they look a lot better wall shared, and it makes stacking them easier as well. So the plan is I'm going to build another 8, which will give me a amp of ZPM power, and then eventually I can upgrade that to a amp of UV, because I can upgrade these to LUV with liquid oxygen, but I can't do that until I get I can't do that until I get LUV dynamo hatch. So, which I need the assembly line for, which is either the assembly line is going to be next or nuclear craft fission is going to be next, because I don't think I need nuclear craft for the assembly line. So the idea is that, so these use 2 buckets. 8 of these uses 2 buckets every 5 seconds. I produced 32 buckets of hog every 2.5 seconds. And I also have a really big buffer underneath, as I've shown before. I have a 32,000 bucket super tank underneath. So the idea is that I could probably stack these to 24 generators, but at the very least, I know I can do 16, even with the double fuel consumption from liquid oxygen boosting. I know I'd be able to do 16. And it's not like they'll be my only source. And the other nice thing is like I've said, they don't work when there's no power demand. So it's not like I only have to be able to actually cope with peak demand. The other thing I have is I've made, so PBI unlocks some of the crafting multi-blocks, like the IV, like the multi-block mixer, and a couple of others. It also unlocks advanced SMDs, but I need the other 2 HSS metals first, Type S and Type E, which I don't have yet. But I do have some of the crafting multi-blocks. So I have a multi-block plate bender, a multi-block compressor, a multi-block wire mill, and a multi-block extractor. The plan is to put another large material press here to make a multi-block forge hammer, and then I don't know what I'm going to put here yet. I could just leave it blank for now. And then the next things on the list, or the immediate next multi-blocks on the list are the mixer, because I feel like some of the mixing recipes in Nomifactory take an absurdly long time. There are some mixing recipes that take a long time, but then their blast furnace recipes also take a decent amount of time. The ABS alleviates that somewhat, because the ABS does the mixing step as well. But yeah, so So yeah, I want to get the multi-block mixer. The other reason I want to get the multi-block mixer is I can make tier 2 miners now. Well, I've been able to make them for ages. I can make tier 2 miners, or I've got the crafting, but they're crafting into a chest at the moment. So then I can just put them onto the table, onto the advanced crafting table. Now, that's really annoying, but I can't automate these, and I can't automate these tables until I get Osmiridium, and Osmiridium needs an LUV mixer, or a multi-block mixer with 2 IV energy hatches. So the multi-block mixer I definitely want to get next, because then I can automate because I can make up to the tier 5 microminer. As you can see, I can make up to the tier 5 microminer. So I really want to get this sorted. And while we're in the quest book, you can see I've actually started making a dent in the late game questbook tab, and the mid-game one is looking very filled out. And I will say, I've been able to do so I finished a lot of quests, like the nano, where is it? The nano circuits quests and the IV circuit assembler. I've had those for ages. It's just, I only just got around to completing the quests, and the reason being is the circuit progression in GTCU is, at least at this stage of the game, is quite similar to NH. So I kind of just powered through a lot of the circuit progression and stuff like that. And the other thing is that I have been following the quests, but I've been doing all of the stuff with auto crafting, which means I've never actually held the items. So that is that's another thing, because I can actually make quantum processors now. I can actually make quantum processors now. So I need to I need to sort that at some point, because they are the cheapest circuits of EV, IV. No, they're the cheapest EV circuits. They're the second cheapest IV circuits. I don't know if they're the third cheapest LUV. I know crystal processors are the cheapest in IV. I don't know whether the crystal mainframes or whatever they're called in LUV are the cheapest LUV. But anyway, we can see that on the progression tab, actually. So that is... Yeah, okay, yeah, no, that is... it's wetware, isn't it? Yeah, wetware processor is the cheapest LUV circuit. Okay. So yeah, so that's... But you know what? It felt really good being able to just sort of go through a bunch of quest chains and say, oh yeah, I've done that. I've done that. Oh yeah, I did that ages ago. So it's been really nice to actually fill out the quest book. Been really nice to do that. So the other thing I have is I have some thermal crafting machines. So I have the energetic infuser, which is the fastest way to make charged Certus quartz. And it gets rid of the horrible charger setup that I had up there. And then I have the compactor with the gear working die in it. And that is the only way to directly make gem-based gears. So you can either do it, so you can do it directly from gems, or you have to do it that way. With some gears, it's a bit different. So Restonia gears, you can do this way through the Atomic Reconstructor. And I think, and there are other gears as well. Actually, there are other actually additions gears, like the, what is it, Enori and Palace, I think, and whatnot. So yeah, so yeah, basically, we can now make easier gears, and these are Signalum, so they're pretty fast. Once I get to LUV, I think I can make Enderium, which means I can upgrade them to Resonant. I also finally, because you can do this in EV, so I finally got around to it. I've set up a wireless charger, so this is just a Signalum energetic infuser with the wireless charger thing in it. It only has a range of like 32 blocks, but that's fine because I spend a lot of time near the terminals anyway. And it just keeps the flux capacitor in my inventory charged. So that's really good. I've been waiting to do that for ages. Or been holding off doing that for ages. But yeah, you can... Excuse me. You can do wireless charging in EV, I believe. Or you can get the first wireless chargers in EV. So, what else? Where's my... So go. Yeah. So the other thing is obviously you notice that the miners are. Oh, sorry. The top platform is significantly smaller now. Big chunks taken out of it. Realistically, this setup here, I won't bother moving this until I get processing arrays. And the really nice thing is because the reason for that is the really nice thing is that if you put rock breakers into a processing array, you don't need the water or lava. So I can just put 16 because I really don't need like more than EV rock breakers, I guess. So I'd probably just put 16 EV rock breakers in a processing array. I don't know if I still need one for obsidian, I think. So yeah. So yeah, I just put 16 EV rock breakers into a processing array. And call it a day. And that would get it 16 parallels, which is good. So yeah, this I just need to be bothered to set up the pulse centrifuge from lazy AE2 to do these, and then this whole bit can go. So yeah, and I left the animals over here. Then these chunks aren't chunk loaded anymore. But I left the animals over here because I will need them at some point. Because I'll need to set up a animal farm for I think it's wetware circuits. I'll need a animal farm for. So yeah, basically we're not. So we do need the animals. You can do it with GregTech fish catchers as well. So I'll have to see which one I want to do. But yeah, as you can see, a chunk of the EV crafting machines are gone, thanks to the multiblocks over there. But the biggest thing, saving the best for last, is I now have the power substation. This is, so this is GregTech CEu's Lapatronic supercapacitor. It works basically exactly the same way, except that there's no wireless. There's no such thing as wireless EU in CEu. But it still has the same amount of loss, 1% of capacity every 24 hours, which equals 156 EU per tick. So yeah, this is this basically solves power storage for the rest of the game. I think the only thing that would potentially be better than this might be the Draconic Reactor, but the hassle of the Draconic Reactor makes it worse than this. So yeah, I think this would be this is definitely the thing. This is definitely the end game storage. At the moment, I have IV capacitors in there, so it holds 27 billion EU. But I can easily upgrade that very soon to thingy. To once I get the LUV circuit assembly. I think it's I think I need LUV circuit assembler. Lipotronic energy orb cluster. Oh no, it's an assembly line recipe. Oh, that's intriguing because I think in NH it's a circuit assembler recipe. I think it's an LUV circuit assembler recipe in NH. I could be wrong, but that's actually that looks quite expensive. Well, I mean, it's not too terrible, but yeah, I swear that's cheaper in NH. But yeah, that holds what is that? That's 1 billion EU, isn't it? What do these hold? Oh no, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. So yeah, so the capacitor holds 1.5 billion EU, and the LUV one will hold 6 billion EU per block. So yeah, but this is 27 billion EU, which is still way more than that. So yeah, but the primary issue I was having is the base now draws enough power that I'm hitting the. I keep forgetting you can't right click with a thing on that. I'm now hitting the 350,000 EU RF per tick transfer limit. So I could just make this bigger, but I don't want to do that because this won't carry me to late game, whereas this will. So the input is just P2P from the input is just a P2P from the diesel combustion generators over there, and the output is a cable connected to a 16 amp dynamo hatch and then connected to a P2P. And the reason being is that The reason being is that GTCU cables can convert from EU to FE in the cable. They can't do it the other way around, I don't believe. So you can't convert from FE to EU in the cable, but you can convert from EU to FE. So I don't actually have to put an energy converter here. I can just put a cable here and then hook it up to the P2P tunnel. Now, the reason that that's nice is that the reason that that's nice is that the dynamo hatches go up to 64 amp, but the power converters only go up to 16 amp. So it is nice. So it is nice that instead of having to have multiple 16 amp converters, and multiple P2P tunnels, or a conduit that's able to handle 64 amps, which I don't have yet. Or I don't have a conduit that could handle 64 amps of IV right now. What I can do instead is just put a 64 amp cable here, and eventually put a cable here that can handle, because I don't think the 16x platinum cable can. This can handle 32, but that's not enough. So yeah, I could put a 64 amp cable here and then just put the P2P there. So the nice thing is that I should never need to move this P2P tunnel. It should just be break the cable, break the dynamo hatch, replace them, and then connect the cable to the P2P, and then done. The other nice thing is because of the way that power failing works in GTCU, I'm not worried about upgrading this, because I won't have to deal with a load of failing multiblocks or whatever. And I know in GTNH, you can use matter manipulator to upgrade this. As far as I've heard, I've not done it myself. So that does make upgrading this easier. But yeah, I can... because when machines fail, in CEU, they just lose progress. So all that'll happen is everything will grind. If anything power fails, it'll just grind to a halt until I put this back together, and then we're good. So yeah, for now, it's really looking good. And I think what I want to do is I'm probably going to pause here. Actually, no, we could probably just do it now. So I need to figure out where I'm going to put this energy acceptor. I could probably just put it... that's a very good point. I don't want to use diamond power for AE because I'm using RF P2P. I think as the base scales, I don't think diamond power will be able to keep up with the 5% power tax. I mean, I do have a lot of storage in AE. Or I plan to have a lot of storage. I have these for now, but I just plan to keep stacking this up higher. I do wonder if I should actually maybe put another dynamo hatch on here attached to a converter. Oh, actually, no, hang on. I can just plug the energy acceptor into... I just put the energy acceptor here, actually. I think. Because... do I have another energy acceptor? Because you can... even if the RF conversion didn't work properly, the AE has native GregTech support. I don't know if that's actually connected or not. It's the funness of having such a big cable. So that is connected. I could probably use the network tool to figure out if it... oh yeah, there we go. Yeah. So in theory, what I should be able to do now is just hook this up to there. And then... so what I want to do, so you're the input from the power, you're the input into the cap bank from the power generators. Oh, hang on. That's 9E12. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. So what I want to do then is I want to get rid of you, I think. And I probably want to get rid of you. So the cap bank is now doing nothing except powering the thing. And then I should just be able to do that. Wow, the idle power draw is still 9,000. Have I got stuff going? Is Orproc still going? No? I have no idea where that 9,000 EU is going, unless it is literally into the... I mean, 4,000 of it is going towards the AE network. Yeah, so like half my power draw is going towards the AE network. I don't know where the rest of it's going. I didn't think I had much idling at the moment because the blast furnaces aren't going. The oil crack is going. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm using power apparently. So now I should. I mean, this will be using. I think this. Actually, I don't think this uses power until it actually does a craft, even though the laser's always going. Oh no, it does. It uses a little bit, but nowhere near that much. So basically, in theory, I now just have to wait for this to take an eternity to charge, and then I can get rid of this. But for now, I should be able to get rid of that. And then, I have no idea. Average EU per tick from the power stations, internal, both passive loss. Right, but only 156 EU of that is passive loss. So yeah, I don't quite know where all the power is going. I mean, the clean room will be using some, I guess. Actually, the clean room needs maintenance. I guess the clean room will be using some as well. I think I have do I have a GT scanner? I thought I had a GT scanner in here. But yeah, the clean room is running at thingy. The clean room's running at IV, I think. So no, yeah, the clean room's running at IV. So that's probably where some of it's going as well. Do I have a scanner anywhere? No. Okay, well that's unfortunate. So yeah. So there we go. I have the... So this video was meant to be longer. You know what? I might actually get rid of this now. Yeah, let's get rid of this now. So what we'll do is we'll get rid of the... We'll let them drain their diamonds. And then we'll get rid of them. So then I don't have loads of diamonds to pick up. But yeah, so this video was going to be a bit different, and would probably have ended up quite a bit longer, because I was actually going to... I was actually building the PSS on camera and testing a few things on camera, but I just wasn't happy with... I just wasn't happy with how that take turned out, so I didn't end up using it. Which is the unfortunate side of me not doing edited videos, is obviously some stuff just... I'm not going to revert back to a backup in order to retake a video. So I need to wait for... so that means that some stuff just, unfortunately, does get missed out on. But yeah, in theory, we should... I don't know what that is. Whatever. I don't know why I'm bothering with that, but I'm going to pull it down in a minute. So yeah, in theory, we now have a really stable power storage solution. And I can get rid of these conduits. I still need the machine, the Deep Mob Evolution setup. I still need that because I need the items it produces. You know, I need diamonds and whatever else. So I still need the items that it produces for crafting and whatnot. And I need the resonant ender it produces eventually for enderium and whatnot. So, yeah, in theory, I just wait for these to empty now, which hopefully shouldn't take too long. In fact, I could just take the fuel catalyzers out, but we'll get as much power as we can out of it. And now I just got to wait for this to charge. So, yeah, the plan is that I will now look at building another 8 of these extreme combustion engines, which should be a lot easier now that half the base won't power fail when I set a craft that big going. And because setting that craft going basically lights up like 5 of the blast furnaces, and a lot of them are running at IV now, and some are running at LUV, to get the next perfect overclock. But what I'm hoping is, I think the next thing I'm going to push on with is I need to push on with automation of the extended crafting tables. And then that way, I can actually automate the micro miners properly, and resource production will basically become a non-issue at that point. At the moment, one of the things I'm running out of a lot is tungsten, because tungsten's used quite a lot in IV stuff, and it's used, and I'm been burning for a lot of tungsten steel to make the generators and so on. So yeah, the plan is that I will. I think the next plan is that once I've got some more of the multi-blocks, like the multi-block mixer and probably the multi-block assembler, then I will look at automating. Well, I need the multi-block mixer in order to automate the micro miners because I need osmiridium. But once I get the couple of things done, once I get these two, so that's done. We can tick that. Once I've got these two sorted, then I'm going to look at automating. What is it? Auto crafting. Oh, I hate it when it does that. There we go. Auto crafting. Go away. So yeah, the next thing after the two, so the next thing after these will be microminer auto crafting. This is just going to stay here forever, probably. But I am making progress on it. So it's just obviously not very important. So yeah, so just go wait for those to empty. And then, yeah, I think I'm going to need the thingy. I'm going to need the additional combustion engines to keep this charged. But yeah, so I think what I'm going to see, I think what you're probably going to see between this video and the next one, especially depending on when I do it, especially if I end up doing it over the weekend, over the coming weekend, because I'm not sure if I'll do one midweek, is you'll probably see a lot of progression from where I am now. I don't want to set a goal for the end of the week yet because I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have, but I will say it would be nice if I could have the assembly line. And I don't believe the assembly line needs anything that I don't already have. So, yeah, it would be nice if I could get the assembly line. Because everything else... Yeah, we'll say that. So we'll say I'm actually going to start a. So let's say we want. So we can remove that because it's done. I felt good ticking it, but now it can go. I'm just going to remove that, and we're going to say I want the assembly line. Or we'll do these in order. So we want the multi-block mixer. Multi-block assembler, microminer auto crafting, assembly line, and LUV circuit assembler. I'd say. Now, the interesting. So one thing to quickly point out is, so this is a 13 by 13 clean room. I don't have room for the large circuit assembler. So if we look at circuit. That one. So this is a pretty big. This is a decent sized multi. I can't fit this in here. I don't think. I'm fairly sure I can't. So what I'm probably going to do for circuit assemblers is, because I don't want to. I mean, I could try and like shove it up here, maybe somewhere. Like just have it in the air. But I feel like that would look dumb. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to, because a processing array is only 3x3, I'm probably going to do a processing array in here. The other option is that I build another clean room. I mean, I will need to build a sterile clean room at some point using sterile casings. So it could be that I actually, if I look at the recipes, are there recipes that actually require a sterile? I know there are assembler recipes and chem reactor recipes that need a sterile clean room, but do the... Yeah, there we go. So for the data module, we need a sterile clean room. Now, I presume, I've not tested, but I presume a sterile clean room also counts as clean for the purposes of the requires clean room requirement of most circuits. But I've not tested that. So yeah, so at the moment I'm kind of on the fence. I could either, because how far does this multi come out? If I do, it is. I mean, you can rotate multi, so I could actually turn it on its side. Actually, that's actually a really good point. Because in newer versions of Nomi, you can rotate multi-blocks. So I could actually, I mean, I could rotate this if I really wanted to and save some space, but I really don't want to tear this down. I could rotate this, because then its footprint would only be, its footprint would basically be, what is that, 5? 3 by 5? So if I did it, say, like here, so it'd be 1, or even here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could do that. It'll look weird. Or I could do it right up against the wall. I just have to move that, which means I'd have to unform the clean room, which means it'd take an eternity to clean. But yeah, I'll figure that out though. I can't make it until I have assembly line anyway, because the LUV it needs LUV. Well, actually, it needs the LUV circuit assembler anyway. So that is a valid goal for me to put on my thing. But it needs an assembly line for these at the very least anyway. And it needs UV circuits, which I think... Oh, actually, I might be a little way off getting this then. I might actually just have to do an LUV circuit assembler for now. So yeah, if we say... Let's change this to, I don't know, week goals. Do that. So yeah, so this week, I would like to get the multi-block mixer, the multi-block assembler, microminer autocrafting, assembly line, and LUV circuit assembler. Literally anything else that I do is a bonus, as long as I do it after these. But yeah, I think that's what we'll see, is we will see, hopefully, a lot more progression in this week, now that I've solved power for the foreseeable future. I just need to scale up the ECEs. Anyway, I realize that this is probably been quite a ramble of a video, but yeah, that like I said, these videos are going to sort of be very informal and very loose, and largely progress updates. There is some stuff I do want to do on camera, but obviously I wanted to do this on camera. It's a big milestone in terms of power infrastructure, but my first take just wasn't great. So I am going to disappear now and go look at what we need to do to basically get this stuff. I do have some of it in here already. So like I have the mixer. I think I can actually autocraft it now that I've got PBI somewhere there. Now that I've got PBI, I can autocraft it. And same with the assembler as well. Oh, one thing to note, the assembler cannot tier skip. So just like the precise assembler in GTNH, it can't tier skip. It can, however, I believe, accept multi-amp energy hatches. So you can overclock it, but you can't tier skip. So that means that there will still be potentially the odd occasion where I still need to make a higher tier assembler. But I don't think I'll run into that very often. Because a lot of the higher tier recipes will be in the assembly line. So I think, by the time I need I don't think I'll need a ZPM assembler. I will probably just be able to, I'll probably be able to get the ZPM energy. Oh, no, that's what I'll maybe need it for. Hang on. So if we look at like ZPM energy hatch. So ZPM energy hatch is... Oh, no, it's an assembly line. So, yeah, okay. So, yeah, the fact that the assembler multi-block can't tier skip shouldn't really be an issue. That really shouldn't be an issue, because the energy hatches and stuff, although, hang on, it needs... yeah, okay, yeah, no. So I do still need each tier's assembler in order to get that tier's energy hatch. And then I can put that tier's energy hatch onto the multi-block. So, yeah. So that's fine. It's still better than having to have a row of assemblers like what I've got now. And obviously it also gets parallels. So, yeah, it's So yeah, basically, once you get the multi-block assembler, you just need to essentially make one of each tier's assembler in order to get that tier's energy hatch, and then you can shove it on the multi-block assembler. But anyway, if you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, or at the very least got some useful information out of it if you're doing your own Nomifactory run, or whatever. And yeah, I will see you guys later, and I hope you all have a lovely day.